Christy Clark, do you believe in carbon taxes?
I don't think we should keep the carbon tax that the federal government has. I think that the Trudeau carbon tax isn't working. It's very different from what we did in British Columbia and what Gordon Campbell introduced in our province. You know, when I was the Premier of British Columbia, we took that carbon tax that had a series of automatic increases, and we got to about $30 in my tenure. And I said, you know, I'm concerned, first of all, that this is starting to really impact families. And second, I was concerned that it was hurting our competitiveness with the rest of the country and therefore going to have an impact on people's jobs. So we froze the tax at that point. But I mean, I won't take the 15 minutes or 20 minutes it would take to explain exactly how it was different, but it was very different from what the Trudeau government has implemented in a carbon tax. And should I be elected leader of the party and prime minister of the country, we would scrap that tax.
Are you going to offer an alternative plan to drive down emissions, though?
Absolutely, because unlike Pierre Poilievre, I believe that climate change is happening, and that as human beings, we are part of the problem, and we need to address emissions. So absolutely, we want to make sure that Canada is playing the biggest role that it can in the world to contribute to the global, what's really a global problem. And I think that's going to be a very different approach from the Poilievre Conservatives. A carbon tax isn't the only answer to fighting climate change. There is a whole range of other tools in the toolbox, and we would be committing to figuring out which tools we want to put to work, but also with a mind to making sure that they aren't things that will hold people back, that will hurt our economy, that will kill jobs in the country. Because it is possible, and we proved it in BC when we had the fastest growing economy in the country and a carbon tax in our province. We proved that you can find a balance between investment, growth, jobs, and making sure we're finding a way to fight climate change.